You ever walk into a room and know, absolutely know, the people there have already decided who you are, just by the way you look or the suit you're wearing? That was my morning, right there on the edge of Lincoln Park, cold dew soaking my shoes as I sat on that weathered old bench. The city was waking up around me, kids hollering across the playground, Mrs. Hampton doing her power walk, nodding at me, her voice hopeful but worried, asking if the rumors about tearing down the community center were true. I just smiled, said nothing was decided yet, though in my gut I knew the stakes were high. Funny thing about hope, it gets a lot heavier when it's other people's hopes you're carrying. That was the morning Anderson Holt rolled up in his shiny car, his partner Ben Clark right behind. They stepped out, loud, cocky, dressed like they'd bought the whole neighborhood just by showing up. They barely even looked at me as they talked on speakerphone, voices carrying across the park like they wanted everyone to hear, about how these run-down neighborhoods are gold mines, how you buy low, kick out the riffraff, build high, and sell to urban pioneers. I sat real still, just listening, knowing they hadn't clocked who I was. They finally walked up, barely pausing. "You, black coffee for me, latte for him. Let the board know we're here." Just like that, like I was invisible. You ever get that? Someone treating you like the help when they have no idea who they're talking to? It's a special kind of burn. But I kept my cool, stood up, offered my hand, and watched their faces drop as I introduced myself. Samuel Davis, Director of City Planning. You could feel the air go cold. Ben looked like he wanted to crawl under the sidewalk. We went inside. No small talk. Just that thick, heavy silence you get when someone realizes they've stepped in it. The boardroom was packed. My team, Councilwoman Green, Anderson, and Ben on the other side. Anderson tried to smooth things over, but you could see his mind working overtime. He kicked off his pitch, big investment, hundreds of jobs, a few affordable units to check a box, a shiny new center for the community. But Nina Green, she doesn't miss a thing. She leaned in, eyebrows raised, and called them right out. "You're taking away 200 affordable apartments and giving back 40. You're shrinking the center and charging for access." Anderson tried to spin it, all modernization and opportunity, but the room wasn't buying it. Thing is, I knew all the numbers already, and what they didn't say out loud was even worse. The so-called affordable units? Never meant to be built. Their internal docs said it, clear as day, only if they got extra tax breaks, and those weren't coming. The new community benefits were nothing but a line in a spreadsheet, something they'd revisit if profits stayed high. I'd seen it before, you know. When I was a kid, my own family lost their home to progress. We got a gift card and a handshake, and that was it. They built a mall where my house used to be, and 20 years later, that place is a ghost town. Still, Anderson wasn't about to give up. Pressure started coming from all sides. Mayor's office, news reporters, PR teams spinning stories about jobs and growth. They tried to make it look like I was the problem, like I was blocking opportunity for the neighborhood. But I stuck to the process. Every report, every study, every rule. No shortcuts. That's when Ben Clark showed up at my office, pale as a sheet. He sat down, looked me right in the eye, and said, "We never intended to build those affordable units. If you want proof, I've got it. He slid over a stack of documents, and in that moment, the whole game changed. Sometimes, the people closest to the power get tired of the lies, too. We took it straight to Meridian Finance, the money behind the project. The big boss over there, you could see the blood drain from his face as he listened to the recordings, read the files. "We can't touch this," he said. And just like that, funding was gone. A couple days later, ethics investigators walked into Anderson's office, and for the first time, he looked scared. But he still called me furious. "You ruined everything because I didn't recognize you that morning." I just told him the truth. "You did this yourself, treating the people here like they were disposable." That's when the mask slipped. He spat out, "Your kind always make it harder." And just like that, I saw him. Really saw him. Small, scared, blaming everyone but himself. With the developers exposed, Councilwoman Green called a community meeting. Folks filled the gym. Old-timers, young families, business owners, some with tears in their eyes, some with fire. They told their stories. 40 years in the same apartment, the little restaurant passed down 3 generations, the basketball court where every kid in the block learned to play. This wasn't just real estate. It was home. The day of the hearing, I stood up, laid it all out. Lies, missing money, broken promises. Then I stepped back, and the community spoke. The vote was unanimous. Anderson didn't say a word. He just gathered his papers, looked like he'd aged 10 years, and left. Thought it was done. Thought we'd won, but the next morning, my boss came in with the news. Anderson was suing me and the city for $20 million, claiming racial bias, targeting him unfairly. Just like that, the win started to feel less certain. It's like every time you think you've finally turned the page, someone tries to rewrite the story, you know? So that's my story. The underdog who didn't back down. But I gotta ask, was it justice or just another round of the same old fight? Does standing up for what's right ever really end the struggle? Or does the system always find a way to push back? You ever been there, on the losing side that finally wins, only to find out the fight just keeps going? Tell me what you think. Was I right to do what I did? Or did I take it too far? Let's talk about it. Drop your stories in the comments. Let's see whose side you're on.